Or let me ask you a question. Why are we still entertaining the outdated model? And I'm talking about benzo recovery. Why are we still entertaining the outdated model? And what's so interesting is people will, the same people that will say, chemical model, the chemical model, the chemical imbalance theory. It's all a bunch of lies and nonsense. And I'm so angry at Big Pharma and these psychiatrists for duping me, telling me it was this chemical imbalance. I'm so frustrated, damn it. But at the same time, they'll turn around and say, well, I can't heal. I've got receptor damage and a down regulation of GABA. And well, hold on. Which one is it? Is the chemical model, the chemical imbalance theory accurate or not? It can't work for one. It can't be wrong for SSRIs and depression, which it is. It is wrong. It is outdated. It is not supposed to be used anymore by psychiatry. But you can't say that's wrong, but then say, well, no, benzos are different. Because see, here it's chemical. Well, look, the truth is, there is a little bit of truth to that. There is a little bit of truth to taking a drug, your brain making real changes to accommodate that drug, then removing that drug, and your brain acting a certain way, behaving a certain way, craving and fighting for those chemicals, fighting to get its stuff together to learn how to re-regulate motion and moods, all of that. Yeah, it's very complex, nuanced stuff. But just because you have low GABA doesn't mean you have a GABA imbalance. Just because you may have low serotonin, or just because you have depression doesn't mean you have a serotonin imbalance. All right, we know these things. We know the brain is much more complex and nuanced than this. I mean, this is not even debatable anymore. For this reason, anybody in psychiatry who has half a brain, they don't use the chemical model or the chemical imbalance model anymore. They use what is called the biopsychosocial model. What does that mean? Biopsychosocial. That means things are biology, psychological, and social, right? So it means our biology, our mental states, and our interactions with others in our community, in our life, all play massive roles in our mental health regulation, whether we're going to be anxious, depressed, traumatized, whether we sleep good, whether we have health. It's these things matter way more than any chemical model. And let me push things one step further. Everybody tells me it's all about receptor damage. I've heard all these big voices, even these big psychiatrists. I don't want to name any names anymore, but you know who they are. You've all heard it. Oh, yes, receptor damage. Yes, it's receptor damage. Yeah, receptors are damaged. Really? Well, what about the millions of people that are cold turkeyed every day in this country off of benzo, and we'll never hear from them? We'll never see them. What about the drug addicts that took hundreds of milligrams of Valium and then run out and go through, withdrawals and even seizures, and then get their new script and they gobble it all up in the first week or two, and then they run out again and they go through it, and eventually they get arrested and they get put in rehab? And where are they? Why are those people? And there are 15 to 30,000 benzo-related overdoses a year, right? Those are just the people that died. That's not the hundreds of thousands that are abusing it, that fall into the scenario that I'm talking about here, the drug addicts. Where are they? Why are they not running rampant all through our benzo community? Think about it. They are the poster child for doing everything wrong. They kindled, they've cold turkeyed multiple times, they've done crazy high doses, they didn't take it as prescribed. Where are they? Right? Nobody's talking about this. And where is their receptor damage? How come their receptors aren't blown away? Some of you listening here know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you have been in AA or NA meetings, and you've seen these people, and you've seen them heal. And you thought, how the hell? Right? You've seen these people. I've seen people walk right off almost a cold turkey. After 25 years, they just come right off their benzo. No receptor damage, nothing. Right? Because I don't think it's that simple, guys. I know we're looking for simple explanations. I just don't think it's that simple. Can receptors be damaged? Sure. Just because you're coming off your benzo or you cold turkey, does that mean you're, I'm more interested in the baggage that comes with these ideas. Does that mean you can't heal because you're different? No, not at all. Does that mean you have permanent receptor damage and your brain is somehow broken and scarred? And no, it's more nuanced. Biopsychosocial. What's your biology? What's the psychology? What's your social change? And for some of us, one of those three can have 85% of our problem. I mean, I've had people that were stuck in, let's call it bind, stuck in benzo, post-benzo withdrawal, can't heal, or maybe they were in their taper and they couldn't move anymore. They were stuck. Oh my God, it's bind, it's this, it's tolerance withdrawal, it's interdose, all these things. Come to find out, they are in an abusive relationship with a jerk of a person in their house, ramping up their anxiety, keeping them in fight and flight, gaslighting them, treating them bad, not supportive, making them miserable. And they've been in this situation for years. Their children don't get it. Their family don't get it. Their whole home life, huge impact. And these people get away, even for a week, from these people. Oh my God, the sun starts to come out, the windows, they can taper, everything starts moving just as it should. Right? We don't see that story. Nobody's talking about that. It's all receptors, right? Biology. Some of these people, they're just in bad health. They become deconditioned. They're not getting enough nutrients or sunlight and a lot of things. And you get them in the sun, you get them moving, you get them conditioned a little bit, you give them the right diet and nutrition, and boom, suddenly they start flourishing. They start fighting again. Psychology. Big one that you hear me talk about constantly with my background in psychology. Rumination. I cannot tell you guys, I've seen more light switches flipped on this thing. You just flip a switch and suddenly you go from being stuck and can't heal to suddenly, oh my God, I'm seeing great windows and I'm just moving so fast forward. And it stems from, something as simple as them learning to shut off rumination. Right? Huge. Boom. Suddenly they're healing again. They're moving forward. Most of us have all three of these. There's biological, there's psychological, there's social, right? And under the biological, of course, I'm talking about chemical withdrawal. I mean, predominantly, obviously. But I'm also talking about other biological dispositions and such, illnesses, diseases, disabilities, etc. But most of us have all three of these. A little bit of an overlap to some various, percentage of each. So again, I ask you guys, why are we still entertaining this outdated model? Why are we still saying that antidepressants can't work? Yes, they can. Will they work? Nobody knows. It's a toss-up. And that's the problem, is that there is no one model. There is no one size fits all. One person can take magnesium, say, oh my God, it was a game changer. Another person said, I took it, gave me a panic attack. One person got on Zoloft, oh my God, helped my depression, I could taper, oh my God, I could sleep again. Another person takes Zoloft, man, it ramped up my symptoms, didn't feel great, had a horrible time, came off of it. Right? So one size doesn't fit all. I would argue that there's a nuance to those things, and I often help people figure out how to make those things work for them based on their approach to it or their mindset. Or there can be external forces that can really derail you in that regard, but no one size fits all. So why are we still entertaining the one size fits all outdated model? So as I say, there's a renaissance coming. The benzo community is going to see a renaissance. We're going to see a dynamic shift from the way we're thinking and approaching this thing, from the things that we've been told and taught and preached to, the identity politics, the tribalism, all of that has to change. And it is changing. Believe me, it is changing. And if you know what to look for, you can see it. Hey everyone, I'm Coach Powers and I'm excited to announce the launch of my new online Benzo Recovery School. The school launched with Module 1 and will have a total of 4 modules, each module with a dozen or more video lessons. Here are some contents in Module 1. This creates the basis for my recovery program. If you know anything about my approach to benzo recovery, you know I'm a bit different than other benzo coaches in that I do not subscribe to the lay and pray model of recovery. Instead, I believe benzo injury is a kind of neurological injury that requires neurological rehabilitation. This neurological rehabilitation encompasses learning how to access our good chemistry while also reducing the so-called bad chemistry, cortisol and adrenaline, and also learning how to lull down our hypervigilant limbic system. This includes learning techniques in CBT, DBT, mindfulness therapy, and neuroplasticity building. Now, I've studied clinical psychology for the last 15 years of my life, and my benzo recovery program encompasses the same things that I use to make my own recovery after a 10-year, 40 milligram Valium dependence. My recovery program observes 4 stages of recovery with 3 tiers of development. In fact, my stages are all focused on development. This makes them different than the 3 obvious stages of recovery, which include the pre-taper, the taper, and post-taper. Instead, my stages serve as a kind of developmental roadmap, with each stage serving as a bridge to the following stage. These 4 stages include Stage 1, restoring hope, Stage 2, the new beginning, Stage 3, the montage, and Stage 4, coming home. Perhaps most importantly, each stage has 3 key learning goals and also 3 key roadblocks. These stages revealed themselves to me after years of working with literally thousands of people from all around the world. After enough experience, you begin to see patterns and trends, and you see where people triumph and what roadblocks can prevent them from moving forward. Now remember, just because you may have come off your benzo doesn't mean you automatically reach Stage 4, the final stage. Again, these are developmental stages, which is why someone can come off of their benzo and still be stuck in their recovery. In fact, it's entirely possible to come off of your benzo and be stuck in Stage 1. Here are some other features the online Benzo Recovery School offers. Aside from being a school, it's also a positive focused support group. And believe me when I tell you, my students are a different breed of benzo warriors. They are wise, they are driven, and they understand the mission. I, Coach Powers, will also be doing live video Q&A weekly in the community, talking, teaching, and answering questions from all of you. There will be downloadable resources such as a rumination and exposure therapy log, templates for checklists, and much more. Additionally, there will be new benzo sleep affirmation videos exclusive for the school, as well as new and early original content. There will be a regular benzo blog, benzo-related news, and even a private early screening for my benzo recovery feature film, Lake of Fire. All of this and only for a special introductory rate of $30 monthly while time lasts. So come join the positive community and let's work together on facilitating our recovery. See you there.